Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming down here to Gajira's Lair to participate in this AMA with Pepo Paradise. We have Chris Lee. I think that Chris Lee is the correct pronunciation of it, and he's going to run us through, give us a quick intro. We can ask questions, and hopefully we can share the screen at the very end. And without further ado, go ahead, take the stage.
Hey everyone, thank you for having me here. I'm Chris, the director of Fugu Games, which is the team behind Pepo Paradise. Fugu is an award-winning game studio featured by Google Play Store and Apple App Store globally in more than 150 countries. Investing game, game of the day, editor choice, etc., etc. So our whole team have been making these mobile games in the past couple of years, and we are migrating the whole team from the Web 2 space and the Web 3 space. Hopefully we can create a project that is innovative enough to push the industry forward, right? So our project is called Pepo Paradise. It's inspired by games like Animal Crossing, Neopets, Super Smash Bros, etc. So Pepo Paradise is a cross-chain metaverse on Avalanche, with a unique feature-earn mechanic in the sandbox environment. And on top of that, we increased the value and usability of NFTs by acting as a gateway to deploy them onto different metaverse and gameplays, and then become the ultimate pet service protocol in the Web3. So that's kind of like a very quick introduction of myself and the project. I'll explain a little bit on the feature earn. So what feature earn do is that you can create an additional yield for NFTs. So basically, you can deploy, say, your Gojira and NFT onto Pearl Paradise, and immediately it becomes one of the Pepples. So Pepple is a term that we define for future Web3 pets. Once it turns into Pepple, you can then feed and take care of your Pepple and build up the bonding between you and your NFT over time. Once the bonding is high enough, these Pepple they will give you tokens as rewards, which you can earn or spend in the game. They may even drop exclusive NFT items for you to collect and trade in the marketplace. They may even lay eggs for the players to hatch and get even more Pepple. So we are having our Genesis Pepo NFT sale on the 20th of April, which will be the Pepo Cheeks on Ethereum at 0.08 Ethereum each. So the Cheeks are the first NFT brand that we incubate within Pearl Paradise, and will be the first collection that becomes one of the Pepos and kickstart the ecosystem. So there are multiple body parts for each tier that will procedurally generated on the minting event. So it will result in infinite unique pebbles. So we're having this Cheeks NFT on Ethereum to demonstrate our in-house cross-chain technology, how we can utilize the security of Ethereum for NFT ownership. And then we can offload the gameplay side of the transactions or actions onto Avalanche with like faster transaction speed and lower transaction cost, for the gas fee. On the partnership with Gojira, so we basically established a long-term strategic partnership. So the way it works is that we are providing support on 3D modeling and animation for the Project Gojira Gen 1 at the moment. So we'll be able to cover the whole collection with animations as well. So what does that mean? That means first of all, the Gen 1 will be able to be deployed to Pearl Paradise as pets. And then secondly, we are building this infrastructure for virtual pets, which means we can then deploy the whole, like all the partners NFTs onto different metaverse or different gameplays very, very easily. So that means there will be more utilities and more gameplays for your Gojira. So the biggest difference between us and other metaverse projects, say like Sandbox, is that we are not creating another set of NFT for you. Um, for a lot of the NFT collections out there, like they want to give their NFT utilities. So what they do is that they kind of create a 3D voxel version the NFT and then drop it to the 2D collection owner, right? So that they can somehow participate in or enjoy the gameplay in say sandbox, right? Practically, it works. It gives some immediate utility, but definitely not like the best way to do or to go, because what if the project wants to work with say 20 different games, right? Do they have to create 20 different sets of NFTs for each specific game or utility? That is first of all, that is a lot of workload. Secondly, in some way it is diluting and fractionalizing um, the value of the initial 2D collection, right? So in comparison, what we do with Pearl Paradise is that we are utilizing our cross-chain NFT ownership verification technology, so that we can provide utilities without creating another instance, or like we don't need to create another set of NFTs. That means we can, all the hard work from developers, all the values that we create, they can be accumulated onto the 2D collection, or like the Gen 1 collection, and so that we can build value over time instead of like having additional utilities on some other NFTs, right? Because like once that is being traded away, the say the Gen 1, for example, does not have any additional utility, right? So it's confusing, and also it's diluting the value, and we want to solve that problem. Yeah. So that's kind of like a quick introduction of what we're doing.
That's great. I appreciate it. Just wanted to let you know that you are able to share your screen now. I got you the permission, so you're good to go. But there's a great intro so far. If you want to just like
If you
continue
want
to
to just
go,
like amazing, amazing stuff, amazing stuff. So I guess can everyone see my screen?
it looks like yeah, yep, I can see it.
Great. So I'll quickly show you guys like a video of the gameplay. Yeah. So as you can see, we're going for like a cute, casual kind of vibe, similar to. Oh, basically every player they have their
Hey
own
Chris,
island, right?
when you're playing your thing like through your computer, it's like bleeding over it, so we can't really hear what you're saying. So let the
Ah,
video
okay.
play, and then like talk like after it. Unfortunately, it's kind of like muddling what you're saying, so it's interfering, so we can't really hear you.
Ah, okay. Anyways, I guess I don't have to replay the video, right? I'll just explain what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. So as you can see, we're going for something that is casual, cute, vibe similar to Animal Crossing, where each player they have their own island, and everything on their island they are in NFT formats. So the players are free to terraform and customize their island, and everything is in NFT format, including the structures, the decorations, the island itself, and also these cute little pets on top of it, right? So these pets will be the NFT collections from different chains. Well, like imagine you say your Project Jura, your Scholars, your Wonder Pal, your Asuki, like different brands can come together and be placed onto Cloud Paradise as pets, and then you can pet, and then you can potentially earn through the feature earn mechanic as well.
very cool. I mean, like Animal Crossing is such a huge market. People love that game so much, and this is like the first thing I was thinking was like this feels like Animal Crossing, so that's really cool.
Yeah, thanks. So you can kind of see Power Paradise as like a mixture between like say Tamagotchi, like the virtual pets, petting game, and Animal Crossings, and we are focusing on like the social side of the gameplay as well. Let me quickly show you our demo. So this is our demo. It works in the browser. So there's like a demo button on the website at the top here. You can access the demo, but you won't be able to try it out because right now it's only whitelisted to our internal development team only. We'll have the closed beta shortly after our Pebble Cheeks sale, which is next week. So if you own one of our NFTs, you will have early access to this demo. So this screen here, this is kind of like your island, and these cute little 3D pets are the pebbles, right? So you'll be able to see if you own a Gen 1 Gajira, you'll be able to deploy them onto your island when the game is out, right? And we are covering the whole set, so you'll be able to see the same, traits and the same, body parts, body colors. We'll be translating them from 2D and 3D. So on the left here, you see there are some carrots, right? These carrots, these are farms which the player can farm and get food to feed their pebble. And then there are some tokens on the floor. These are dropped by the pepples. When they're happy, they tend to like give you like tokens for you to earn or spend in the game. On the user experience wise, it's very straightforward. So all you need to do is to just log in with your hot wallet. Let me quickly do it. I realized I can't talk and operate at the same time. So yeah, in this case, I just log in with my MetaMask. So with the hot wallet, so basically, we have your wallet address will be able to crawl and verify all the NFTs that you own on different chains, so that you can deploy them as pets. Um, yeah, so this demo mainly showcases the island customization feature. So as you can see, I can terraform. I can terraform my island. I can place different decorations on top of it. Again, this will be in NFT format, and the only way to get them is through playing the game, or trade on the marketplace. So players can also open up the Pepo inventory. So this will be all the NFTs that you own from different chains. You will be able to simply deploy them onto your island, and then you will be able to interact with them, feed them, take care of them, and play. Even bring them to different mini games, and also you'll be able to visit other players' island and socialize that way. Yeah. So yeah, this kind of roughly it for the demo.
This is really cool that
Let
you
me
already
show
have
you
a
some
working
images.
demo.
Sorry.
I was just saying that this is really cool. You actually have a working demo we can actually see. Most people are just like talking about what they're supposed to build, and we can't really visualize it. And all we do is hear people talking about it, maybe see some random pictures that were generated through Blender or something like that. You guys actually have a working demo.
Yeah, yeah, because I think that's very, very, important, right? Especially in the NFT space, I invested a couple of NFT projects, and they did not fulfill the promise that they gave. So when we start working on a big, we prepared for a very long time. We want to ensure that, because we really want to have these projects for like a really long period of time. We want to continuously developing on it, and also we want to ensure that, we have a very high success rate. So it's not very easy to fail, right? So what we do is that we have planned for like a very long time on like researching technology. That's why we can achieve the cross-chain verification tech. We brainstorm on the idea, and then we design the tokenomics before we even start everything, and then we even build this prototype. We're self-investing in building this prototype, and then we actually raise funds from venture capital. Um, so like the NFT sell to us, these are kind of like just additional funds or like fundings to speed up the production and the development, or like increase the quality of the production a little bit, right? Our main source of funds are still from the revenue that we got from our previous mobile Web2 games, and also like from the funds that we raised from the venture capital. So yeah, so that's why we are kind of like we're preparing a lot of things before we even announce our project, or like launch our social media, or like having our first NFT sale.
I mean, just with what you just said right there, you already have a sizable step above what most projects are doing because you guys have been building already and you guys already have capital from your web 2 space, which is like a really great thing. And I definitely appreciate that because a lot of times people need to come in here and they like have to sell out for the game to work out. And I don't really like projects like that because sometimes things don't sell out and it has nothing to do with the project, but more about what's going on with the space or with the market. So I think that's awesome. And it looks like this game like looks really clean. The graphics are really cute, and It definitely looks like it's one of those addictive Animal Crossing type of games. So that's I definitely have to applaud you
Amen.
guys on that.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay,
thank you
done.
for the compliment, right? So, yeah, again, like even if our NFT do not sell out, we'll be continue building it because we already have the money to do it anyways, right? And also like we generally do not like massive sharing on like some like YouTube or like some sort of other social media to just get the full price up. So we are going doing it organically. We're partnering with NFT brands that we want to partner with. We're building our community slowly and organically, and we're doing this sort of AMAs to educate our potential audience and try to convert them into our long-term users. At least that's the way that we're growing right now, right? Um, Let me quickly show you this image. So this image, this Polaroid image that you see was like a formal announcement. I believe it was a few weeks or 2 weeks back. When we first announced a long-term partnership with Gojira, we made this cute little image. So this is kind of what we do for most of our partnerships. So some of the NFT brands that we're working with, including Lil Blobs, Kumos, Catabolics, Gojira. We have Wonder Pals, Dreamland Genesis, Scholars, Clementine's Nightmare. We also have Alpacadabras, and then we have Doge Pound working with us. This image is like we are starting to develop the 3D models for our partners, and we're putting it into like the game engine and trying to do some screenshots, right? In order to test whether they look great in the game. So yeah, this is how it will look. You guys will have your Gajira in 3D, be able to place on the island. We have already started. Let me quickly show you this animation for the Kumos as well. So this is like a simple walk cycle, which I really like it. It looks very cute. So so the Gojira 3 model will have its own set of animations to be prepared for different games and different utilities in the future. So one thing that I can show you is that we've already tried, we have already started modeling and trying to get the shape right basically for the Project Gojira. We're codifying a little bit, but I think it still keep the whole branding of the Project Gojira one pretty well. Um, yeah, so that's what we've been doing. We just started with like 2D sketches, and then we're building them in 3 models. So we're providing these supports to our NFT partners because we are well aware of that. They are not they may not have experience in game development. They may not have experience in 3D modeling, right? But they have a great brand. That's why we should like kind of like work together so that we can utilize both of our strength to get something fun to be done in the Web3 space.
Yeah,
So that's
absolutely.
kind of everything that I want to show here. Oh,
So
actually, I really want to show this image, but this is going to be a sneak peek. So we are working on like a fun, cute animation for all the partners that we have. This is one of the screen in the video. So we'll have like so that how we have all the partners on like this cute baby crayon drawing. Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. That's just has such like a fun little feel to it, and honestly, just like with like the whole thing, one of the biggest driving points in some of the projects is like the cute factor, and you're really nailing it on the head right there. It feels like a almost like not like saying anything about it, but it feels like a kid like drawing a crayon like of it, which is like I'm saying that as a compliment because it gives like such a really fun and awesome feel with that last picture that you were showing.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions about me
So yeah, I have one question in here.
or the
It
project?
says, will the different projects that can be used on Peppo Land have different characters? Like Jira's be like an evil trait, so when they socialize, they can have other lands and such traits like?
Sorry. Do you mind if you can repeat the question again?
They were asking about the different projects that can be put inside the Peppo Land, with the different characters. How Jira's can be have an evil trait, and they were just wondering how they socialize together with other lands and other traits. That's the question. I'm not sure if you can answer it if it makes complete sense, but I was trying to relay it the best I could.
Yeah, I don't quite get what like I don't quite get the traits part. Like, is it talking about? Is it talking about like those kind of like stats or attribution to those
Yeah, I
pepples?
guess like
I haven't
because
quite.
Jiras are evil, and I guess like I don't know if you have different traits for different Peppos like that are on the land. If
Why
they
is it?
can
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like
yeah.
evil, if they can like interact, like how do the different projects socialize together? I guess that's what was trying to say. Just maybe just a good idea to just talk about here on the Peppo land when you're looking at your little area, your little island. How do each of the projects like interact? How do they talk to each other? Like what are the different things that they can do? What do you do on the Peppo land? I guess is a good question. Maybe kind of walk us through like when you put them in there, how do you like earn? I see there's like a token up in the top left. Like how do they earn tokens? Like how does it all work? I guess is a better way of saying it.
Yeah, 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 sure. I think I'll quickly start with answering about like the traits, right? So all the NFT partners that we work with, when it comes to Pearl Paradise, they become one of the pebbles, right? So they all have like some sort of traits, or we call like attributes, but we're kind of like naming these attributes as different type of you know uh, character, or like we were naming, so for example, like one of the traits or one of the attributes is called like curiosity, right? So we have like different type of characters to kind of represent things that instead of like boring like attack damage or like speed or like health. We are using some funny descriptive words to describe these attributes. So they can be used and in any ways, in different games or utilities in the future. Instead of like, oh, attack damage is always about attack damage. Maybe curiosity can, if you are high in curiosity, maybe it increase your attack damage in one game, but it can do something else in another game. So that's what we are trying to do here, and it also affects the emotion or like the behavior of these couples and the island, so they may perform differently if they have different type of attributes. So I'm sorry, let me close the demo a little bit, because I don't think sharing the screen and having the voice chat, it lets me out a little bit. One second.
We can hear you completely fine. Also, I think it's good to have the you running through this with the shared screen since I'm recording it with video. So this is like nice to have like a visual. So while you're talking, unless it really bogs down your system, but your voice sounds good. It's clear. It's not
Yeah,
lagging at
yeah,
all.
yeah. It was lagging me, and I
Ah,
kind of
gotcha.
want to do some advertisement here as well, so we can tell
Perfect.
everyone about
Perfect.
our upcoming NFT sale. Anyways, I'll continue. So, on the gameplay side, right? Uh, Pearl Paradise is the first demonstration of the whole technology, like the Pepo Dashi that we're building. So, within Pearl Paradise, again, you can place them on your island. As like a single player experience, you can come back every day, keep them happy, maybe clean their poops, like just feed them, make sure they're happy. And then you can collect different NFT items. You can basically, it's a kind of like a collect them all game as well. So also there will be a farming feature in the game where you can, play with, farming for different crops, right? Which maybe these different crops, they will have different effect in growth of your pebble for like all these attributes that we were talking about, right? On the multiplayer side, on the socialized part, the Pearl Paradise, your island, right? It's kind of similar to like your social profile as well. So it's a centralized hub for displaying all your NFTs from different chains. So we'll be working on with Ethereum chain NFT projects at the beginning, and then we'll move to like Polygon, we'll move to Solana, we'll move to like Avalanche. So like all these different NFT collections can come together. So and also it's a fun way to see other NFTs in like a 3D interactive format as well. So when you socialize, you can visit other players' island. You can drop comments. You can directly offering to purchasing someone's virtual pet, like Pepo, like similar to how OpenSea work. And you can invite friends into mini games and then use these pets as characters in these mini games, or maybe there are mini games that require multiple Peppos to be played, right? So one of the things that is in our roadmap, it's like we call it like a Peppo Derby. So it's like a horse racing type of game, um, where you can just raise your Peppo and then you can register them for like a Peppo tournament, right? Racing tournament. So you so that different NFT or different Peppos they can participate in this racing match or tournament to win prizes. And then another scenario or like the use case would be, let's say, I'm not sure if you guys know like the game Stumble guys, right? Or Fall guys. Um, so one way to use it would be you can simply say we'll be creating say some mini games similar to Stumble guys where you can just simply utilize your NFT character to be your avatar, right? And then you'll be able to compete with others. So that's more powerful than it being just a skin because that means we can even create like within the community we can have some sort of gathering with everyone utilizing say the same NFT collection, right? And then we can compete, and then between different communities we can even hold something like some sort of like Web3 Olympics where, let's say if we are having an event with say Wonder Pack, right? So they can pick their best players and then we can pick our best players and then we'll just use our NFT collection NFT as our avatar and then we can compete across community, right? That could be something similar to like Olympics in the Web3. That's the direction that we are going for. Yeah. So it's more about like building this infrastructure so that we can create a lot of different games and different experience in the future, and to support this whole interoperable future that we're trying to achieve. Yeah. Not sure if that answers the question.
No, that definitely answers the question for sure. It was a really good explanation and definitely kind of gives us a little more insight to like what's going on with the Pepo Paradise and whatnot. I was just curious. So, how the game when it's made, is it going to be within the browser, or will that be an actual game that you can like you like download and you open it as an application?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a very good question. So we start with a browser because um, we don't want to push for like the accessibility at the beginning. We want to be have like I mean like on the browser it's I mean easiest for a lot of like hot wallet users. So we'll start with browser. We'll have the closed beta, and then we'll have the open beta also on browser. And then in roughly in Q4 this year, once we feel like okay, the game is ready, we have enough features, we have enough engagement, we're hitting all the key performance indexes, we'll have the official public launch on both the browser and also like the mobile version, right? So we'll be able to support Android and also iOS.
Cool, because like I was just worried about, I know that that's just a demo, but I would hate for it to, lag people's computers down and whatnot when they're trying to play it as well, if they're trying to do other things besides just have their Pepo Paradise up.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We like having it on mobile is also our top priority. After obviously after we know that the game economy and the gameplay is stable, right? Having it on mobile is our top priority because, as you know, like the whole name for Pebble Paradise is actually Pet Pocket Paradise, right? So we
Yeah.
really want you to be able to bring your pets around with you, and not just socialize in front of a computer, but also you can open up your mobile and show others your interactive NFTs, right? That's what we're aiming for, and we also have like an intensive like background on like mobile game development. So technically it's actually pretty easy for us. It's more about we want the game to be uh, uh, um, ready before we push for like massive marketing and push over the rich through the mobile side. Yeah.
Awesome. I was just curious, how do people benefit from owning several, multiples? Is there any incentive for people to own many Pepos?
Yeah, definitely. I think first of all, being it's satisfying to see a lot of NFT characters walking around on the screen. And then secondly, more pebbles mean more fee to earn, which means you can potentially earn more, and you will have higher probability in getting NFT rewards as well because I mean there are more of them, right? So there are higher probability, and there will be higher probability for them to kind of lay eggs for you to even hatch it and get even more pebble. So that's definitely uh, advantage in getting more pebbles. And not to mention, some of the future games required may require more than one pebbles in order to play the game. And some of them even encourage you to have as more as possible. That may give you advantage in the game. So that's what we're trying to build. We want to try to build this kind of virtual pets trend in the Web3 space. So a lot of the games that we'll be building, will encourage you to have more of them as well. Yeah.
Awesome. So, if you own a Dreamland, a Wonder Pal, a Gojira, a Kumo, and all that stuff, like you can put all those in your land, and how do they benefit? And how do you earn more token or whatnot with those?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So that's what you're saying. You're saying you can earn more token and whatnot if you own one of each of those different projects. I'm trying to understand, like, with the collaboration or the partnership, if you have, how does it incentivize people to buy more?
Yeah, okay. So like having more do not like increase each other's kind of like fee to earn reward, but like obviously having more like individually they have their fee to earn, like you can feed each of them and they individually will give you tokens, right? So it's always like the more the better because you can still earn more out of it, right? And yeah, so that's kind of, does it answer the question?
Yeah, no, that definitely does. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about the game? Like, I'm kind of giving you the floor to try to convince everyone, to either mint your project or potentially go and, buy off the secondary. I don't.
Yeah, sure. So like a lot of questions that I get is about like the cheats in like some other AMAs where okay, yep. So if every NFT partners that we work with they are the same in the game, they are also enjoying the feature and reward. So what's the point of getting the Pebble cheats, right? That's the question that I got from a lot of places. So yes, first of all, yes, all the Pebbles they are the same. All the partners that we work with they will have like the same feature and reward, but that is like the base feature and reward, right? So the biggest difference is that the reward for the cheeks is also correlated to the success of the ecosystem that we're building. So we have a functionality in the game where we allow project owners to provide their own incentive program or incentive reward, right? So let's say I know project object they have their own token, right? So if they want to they can definitely work with us so that they can drop additional the project Gojira token in Pearl Paradise through the feature earn mechanic as like an additional reward, right? So similarly we can do it with Pearl Paradise as well. So like we will be running incentive programs on our Pebble Cheeks, and the amount of reward will be correlated to the success of the ecosystem, right? So the better the game performs, the better you will get from the cheeks NFT. I think that's like a big reason why you wanna invest in our cheeks NFT. And another thing is obviously you have early access to the game. You can try the game before others, so you can probably strategize and maybe maximize. You basically you'll be able to know the game before others as well. And yeah, that will be various different type of privilege, but we kind of don't want to announce it yet. At our yeah, we'll definitely support our early supporters. So a few weeks ago, we have launched free means, Paradise Ticket free means. That tickets give you automatic whitelist to the Pebble Cheeks sale, automatically whitelist to the future Pebble Land sale, and also along with IDO investment quota and also future token airdrop as well. So that was like a free means. And right now, the only way to get it is through OpenSea. I believe it's cost around 0.2 or 0.18 Ethereum, somewhere like that. So we always reward our early supporters. So like, I believe like everyone who has minted out our Paradise Paradise ticket, I'm sure like they won't say anything bad about it because it was like literally free for them. But then they kind of like 20x already because like it went up to like I think the highest point it was like 0.5 Ethereum. Yeah. So we'll probably do something similar to Cheeks where we will ensure all the investors, first of all, they won't lose their money. Um, and secondly, we'll always, keep adding more and more utilities and privilege to them so that they can be rewarded while, we are being rewarded through, the support of the community. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it honestly like clears it up and gave us a lot of good insight into the project and whatnot. Um, I don't know if there's not too many questions. Most people are just commenting on how they love the the 3D rendering and all the art. It's has this really good feel to it, and they really like it a lot. So that's definitely always a good thing. On the first little bit, since like the game's not out yet, you definitely need to make it intriguing for people to want to buy the NFT and whatnot. So that's definitely like a really good thing. So if there's anything else that you want to like talk about or show while I'm sharing the screen and whatnot, that you just go ahead and go for it right now. If not, then we can kind of wrap it up a little bit. And like I said, I'll send the YouTube video over to you for your community, and that'll be great. Like I was saying, is that this is kind of like your platform giving you to be able to convince a lot of the people here to either mint or want to buy on the secondary. I know that you were kind enough to give the Gajira family a lot of spots, so I definitely want you to have the chance to, get all the good alpha out there and try to get all the
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
juicy little tidbits out to the public. So,
Sure, sure. I'll talk about like our most ultimate vision or like our mission, right?
yeah, that sounds
So
great.
yeah, so we vision ourselves to be the ultimate pet service provider in the Web3 space. So like the core product of like what Pepo Paradise is really building, it's the Pepo directory, the infrastructure of these virtual pets and be able to connect NFT collections from different chains together. Um, so um, we see and also we kind of want to build the trend for virtual pets to be like the luxury item in the web3 space because we see that in the real life a lot of people they purchase or they invest in luxury watches, luxury accessories, luxury clothing, luxury cars, etc., right? Because first of all they are a way of like investment. Secondly, if they are like self-expressive item. Thirdly, maybe it's like a proof of their social status. And lastly, they can bring them to different locations, right? So we want to create the same feel and the same kind of positioning for the NFT virtual pets in the Web3 space. So we were considering things like, oh, shall we go for like cosmetics like sports shoes or like some virtual avatars or like some kind of like Web3 hats or like clothing, right? It's actually not as good as the pets because first of all, the avatar in different metaverse or different games, the shape might be different. So even if this pair of shoes fits in this game, it may not fit in another game. So it's not really that improbable there. And then secondly, they are lacking of some sort of like interactivity. So that's why virtual pets is actually like the best to fulfill this task because first of all, I mean, like virtual pets, we can literally just add like a pet system in almost every. I wouldn't say all of the games out there, but most of the games out there, right? And also in Metaverse. So, say if you are in like an MMORPG game, you can have your pets follow you around. In like a first person shooting game, you can have your pets follow you around. If you are in like a Web3 future concert in like VR formats, you can have your pets follow you around even if you're just shopping in like a shopping mall in the future in the metaverse, you can have your passport around. So since it does not directly attach to the body, and you can just simply plop it there and follow around, it's actually the most interoperable thing, in the virtual space. Not to mention that they can, they are interactive, they can perform like differently in different locations. That's why we are coming from this virtual pets angle, and hopefully we can bring up this trend of virtual pets as luxury item by uniting different NFT collections together and build an ecosystem, and also build a platform for that, and also build extra utilities for them to be truly interoperable. That's kind of like the core mission that we're doing. And then our long-term vision, it's our long-term roadmap, is divided into four different phases. So right now we are kind of like finishing our first phase, which is um, building the Pepo Paradise game along with the feature and mechanic. We are assigning that as phase one because we need, first of all, we need something to draw initial audience, the interest of the audience. We need an example, a demonstration of our technology, and thirdly, we need to provide some sort of utilities to attract NFT partners that can work with us, right? That's why we're building this Power Paradise game first, so that we can move on to phase two, which phase two is about partnering with NFT collections. So right now we have the feature art mechanic. We're able to provide additional yield to our NFT partners connections. We can provide actual gameplay and utilities to them. So it's much easier for us to collaborate with NFT brands and build this ecosystem, right? So that's our phase two, and we're working on it right now. And then we have the phase three, which will be down in the later in the future, which is integrating with different metaverse and gameplays. So after phase one and phase two, we have the first demonstration of the game. We have a lot of different NFT partners that are working with us. Then we can deploy them onto different metaverse and gameplays very, very easily in phase three. So in phase three, we'll be working with the major metaverse and try to if they are open source or open API, we will try to build plugins that can support it. For example, if it is Decentraland, we'll probably build a plugin where landowners can place like an item on the land so that all the visitors to their virtual land will be able to there will be like the favorite pet will be displayed along with them, following them around whenever like a new visitor comes to their land, right? That's the thing that we will do. And then for other game developers, maybe they are from the Web 2 space, if they are not familiar with the Web 3 technology, all they need to do is to just utilize the infrastructure that we're building along with the development kit that we can provide. Then they can immediately have access to all these amazing NFT brands, and they can also draw these high quality NFT users to their game, right? So that's and also we may even subsidize or invest in some of the game studios to expand the ecosystem. So that will be phase three. The last phase of our roadmap will be about further support on like VR and AR technology, and also on incubating potential brands and games, right? So we have like a long term plan to after the first three phases, we should have like a big enough ecosystem that can grow organically in a positive mood, and then we'll be trying to incubate some potential NFT IP brands to basically maximize our 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 revenue or our influence in NFT space, and also we'll be incubating different games that can utilize the Pebble Directory, and also potentially investing in some of them as well. Yeah. So that's kind of like the long term roadmap of what we are doing, and we are still for early. We're still in we're just in phase one, and so far we've been kind of on track with our roadmap. So yeah, so I'm very excited to see how well we can do in the upcoming phases, and to have these virtual pets empire to be done. um, on the technology side, we are also the game is on Avalanche. Will so to utilize the low transaction fee there, and also high transaction speed. We'll also be building our own subnets on Avalanche. I'm not sure if you guys know what is a subnet. So basically, it's similar to how Axie Infinity has their own rolling chain. So we are building the subnets on Avalanche, so we'll have our own chain, which means we can even further reduce the transaction fee, and also we can push the transaction speed to something like, let's say each transaction is below 0.5 seconds, right? So we may even configure our custom chain to even pay the gas fee for like some early users to even improve their first time user experience, right? So these subnets will also act as like a foundation kind of infrastructure along with the Pebble directory for all these future developers that want to utilize test what we are doing. They will be able to come onto our chain, build experience on it, which they have immediate access to all these great NFT partnerships. Um, but then they will be like the core game token will also be like the gas token of that subnet for that chain, so that like as our ecosystem grows, we'll be able to migrate more more and more from as like just a game to more like a pet service provider. And then we will be charging like different sort of like service charge in collaborations or like in infrastructure usage, instead of like focusing on like those like gain to earn kind of revenue. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that was that was an incredible explanation there. You definitely know your stuff, and I appreciate that when founders and team members come on to an AMA. Sometimes they don't really know their stuff, and you obviously are. You're head like dove in head first with this project, and you sound like you're like very passionate about it, and you guys got a lot of cool stuff coming out. Looks like people are definitely pretty excited. They're like loving the artwork and all that stuff. Like I think that it's like you definitely have something going here. Like I said, I was kind of waiting for the first project to utilize the whole Animal Crossing kind of vibe, and I haven't really seen anything like that quite yet. So it's definitely something that I think you guys may have harnessed here, and that's a really cool thing. So like I said, I mean that was a great explanation. And if you have anything else you want to add, then feel free to do it. This is your platform right here.
Sure, sure.
But other than that, I mean, honestly, it's been a
Sure,
great
sure, sure.
AMA so far. When people don't have a lot of questions, it doesn't mean a negative thing. It just means that you're explaining everything really, really, really well.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's pretty much it. Like for most of the stuff that we want to explain here. Like if you guys have any questions, feel free to come to the Pepo Paradise Discord channel. That's like a ask me anything channel in our Discord server. You guys can just drop questions there, and I occasionally just answer all the questions. Whenever I'm free. So feel free to do that. Yeah.
Awesome. I always love when a founder or team members are accessible within their Discord server because I always get a little more bullish on a project when you can actually talk to the team members and whatnot. And I really do appreciate that because, before I was on a team here and, worked for Project Gajira, I was just one of those guys coming into servers and would generally be really excited about a project and like want to ask questions. And then the biggest problem was is that, I couldn't even get a mod, to talk to. So that is very much appreciative. And if you guys have any questions and you take a time to digest all of this and look through the white paper because the white paper is extremely in depth, and you have questions later on, just join the Pepo Paradise Discord server and just hop in there and shoot a tag or ask some questions. I'm sure people will be more than happy to answer your questions.
Yep. Everyone's welcome.
But yeah, if that's it, it looks like there's no questions. I put the Discord invite in the voice channel right there, and so I just wanted to say from everyone in the Jira family, thank you so much, Chris, for taking your time out of your busy schedule to come out here and enlighten us about your project and all that good stuff. And you were generous enough to give us a bunch of spots to help out the Jira family. And we look forward to your launch and wishing you the best of luck on a very healthy and successful launch.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a pleasure, and everyone in
Um,
chat's thanking you as well. Everyone's very appreciative. So
yeah,
thank you so much.
thank yeah, thank you so much for having me as well, and thank you so much, for everyone who have joined this AMA, and yeah, thank you, you all. Yeah,
Like I said, it's an honor and a pleasure to be up here to be hosting these AMAs, and I have a great time doing it. And it's really great when you come out here and you have a lot of information and you know your stuff. So thank you so much, and have a good rest of your day.
thank you, everyone. Bye.